Good morning and welcome to In the Kitchen with Ashley. I'm here with Cheryl. So what are we making today?
Ashley, first of all, I want to welcome you to the Performance Locker Kitchen. And today we're going to make a waffle that's a non-traditional waffle. It's a savory waffle. And it has the ingredients of something that people are used to knowing as a falafel. So people are used to this. This is falafel mix. It's a chickpea mix with flour. And usually you make this into a patty or a ball, fry it or bake it, and then eat it in a sandwich. Well, today we're going to take all those ingredients, all those healthy, whole food ingredients, and incorporate it into a waffle.
Perfect. Well, let's get started.
Okay, here we go. The first thing we're going to use is chickpeas or garbanzo beans, and this is an ingredient that's high in soluble fiber, high in complex carbohydrate, and the other beautiful thing it does is it adds a little bit of protein to our breakfast or our lunch waffle.
Perfect. So
we're going to start with, this is 1 can of garbanzo beans. We're going to put it in a food processor. You could also use a blender if you don't have a food processor handy. And you can just dump those in, yep. And then we're going to add to that 1 cup of Greek-style yogurt. And this is a fat-free Greek yogurt. It's plain. And what we're doing there is we're adding some creaminess and texture to our batter. And again, we're adding a good source of protein to this waffle. Next, we're going to be adding our seasoning. And here, what we have here is a little bit of salt. We have a teaspoon of cumin and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. We're going to add that in, yeah. And then the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And so today I'm going to have you fresh squeeze some lemon juice for us. And again, this is makes the flavor just really pop with this nice fresh lemon juice. You can go ahead and add it to the food processor. And what we're looking for in here is we're just looking for a nice paste to form between these ingredients. So we'll turn it on, and as it blends, we're going to add to it 2 cups of milk. And when we have those wet ingredients all mixed together, then we'll incorporate it into the dry ingredients. So we have our wet ingredients all blended and ready to go. Now we're going to make the waffle.
Perfect.
So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take the whole wheat flour that I have here and put it in the bowl. And again, we're using all whole wheat flour. And so this is a whole grain. Our waffle is going to be a whole grain waffle. Very good. And all we're going to add to it is 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And the baking powder is going to make our waffles light and fluffy. And whisk that together with your whisk. Very good. And now we're going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry. And again, this is just our pureed chickpeas, along with the yogurt, the lemon juice, the seasoning, and the milk. And we're going to stir this just until it's incorporated. Very good. And then our batter is ready to put in our hot waffle iron.
Oh, perfect.
So I've given you a 1/3 cup measure. And what I want you to do is just to put little less than 1/3 of a cup in each of these 4 compartments in our hot waffle iron. Okay, probably a little bit more. And you know what I like to do? This is what I like to do, Ashley. Just go ahead and scoop that right in there. Yeah. We'll just get crazy with it here. There we go. And remember, this is all whole wheat flour that we've used. It's kind of a dense batter. And so we want to make sure that these waffles really have a chance to cook through. We're not going to take it out when it says it's ready. We're going to let them cook a little bit longer, or we'll end up with a waffle that's a little bit too moist inside. I think that looks great.
Perfect.
Okay, we'll close it and let them cook. So while our waffles are baking, we're going to go ahead and make a really delicious, simple syrup that goes on the waffles. Again, we have a waffle that's savory, so the syrup we're going to make is sort of a sweet tart syrup. We're going to use a 1/2 cup of pomegranate juice, and we're going to use a half a cup of pure maple syrup. So Ashley, I want you to add the pomegranate juice to our little pan here, and all we're going to do with the pomegranate juice and the maple syrup is bring it to a boil. But we're just adding them, combining the flavors to have that nice, sweet, tart sort of syrup that we're going to use on our falafel waffle. Once this is boiling, we're going to thicken it just a little bit so it's a little thicker than your traditional syrup. And so we have 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. that we're going to add to 2 tablespoons of pomegranate juice. And you know, when you work with cornstarch, you can't add it to the hot liquid. That's why we're going to incorporate it into a little bit of the cold pomegranate juice before we put it into the hot syrup to thicken it. Well, our waffle iron has finished steaming, so I think our waffles are ready. Let's take a look. Ooh, they look beautiful.
Yes, they do.
So let me pull them out of here. We'll just put them on this rack. I'm going to put one right on your plate, Ashley, so you can give it a try.
Thank
and
you.
You have your syrup right there. You can go ahead and put some of your pomegranate maple syrup on your waffle and see what you think.
That definitely is delicious, and the syrup definitely gives it more of a flavor as well.
Yeah, good.
Perfect.
Glad
Thanks
you
so much,
enjoyed it.
Cheryl, for
You're
doing this
welcome.
and showing us how to make this full waffle.
Yes.
Thank you so much.